back. Over the past couple of weeks, wildfire smoke has been seen in the skies over Maine many times.
And Christian is joining us to look at the record start to the fire season in Canada. We ran this story this morning, Christian, about 18 construction workers hiding in a shipping container from these fires. I mean, it is just like, it's terrifying,
like
some of the story.
It really is. And you know, the past couple of years were bad years for Canadian wildfires, but this year, I mean, it's just gotten off to such, I mean, I'll show you a chart in a second here, and you'll just see the dramatic difference in how much worse this year is. And the area burned in Canada is just really, really impressive. And we'll talk about that in just a second as well. But yeah, you probably have noticed over the past couple of weeks, a lot of air quality alerts. Several days have been impacted by this. We've also seen the milky skies. Sunday was a great example of this, where we had, you know, sort of that milkiness in the sky. The sky was not blue, even though there really were no clouds out there on Sunday. So yeah, we've seen a lot of this wildfire smoke, and those fires continue to burn. So I don't think we're really going to see too much change to the smoke factor in the near future. So here's a look at what that smoke looked like. This was Sunday morning. Thanks Rick Barber in Ogunquit for sending this great picture of the sunrise. Of course, we've had a lot of these red ball sunrises and sunsets lately across Maine. Just look how milky the sky is. It's hard to tell where the sky ends and the water begins. Yeah, really kind of fascinating. And here's a picture that I took later in the morning in Ogunquit. You can see still kind of that milkiness. It's definitely more noticeable at sunrise and sunset, but yeah, very hazy, very milky. Had a lot of the air quality impacts as well. You might have noticed, you know, feeling it in your lungs a little bit if you've been outside, especially exercising outside. So yeah, it's not just that, you know, it's high in the sky. We've actually seen some air quality impacts from this, and fires continue to burn. Look how many are burning in Canada. All the ones that you see in the US, those are very small, usually prescribed burns, but a lot of the ones in Canada, they're burning out of control. And so this is why we've seen so much smoke. And again, Canada, a lot less populated than the US. So a lot of these fires are just, you know, it's really hard to get to them. And you know, they don't want to waste the resources putting them out if they're not impacting people's homes. But it's not fun for us because we get all of the smoke from these wildfires. So yeah, they continue to burn up there in Canada, and we have seen a just ridiculous amount of acreage burned, 7.2 million acres. I mean, the past 2 years we had seen some smoke in our skies by this point, but those were fairly normal. 2023, I will add, did end up being one of the worst years in terms of acres burned in Canada, but a lot of those fires were later in the year. So the record start to the season has been really impressive. 7.2 million acres. That's just crazy to see how much land has burned. And so you'd be wondering, how much land is that? Well, that is like the area of Massachusetts and Rhode Island combined. So that's like the entirety of the state of Massachusetts burning, plus the entirety of the state of Rhode Island burning in terms of acreage. So yeah, really crazy. And you can see on the drought monitor, Western Canada, British Columbia, out towards Alberta, that's where we are seeing most of the fires, and that is where we have the worst drought conditions. But it's kind of interesting. It's not an extreme or exceptional drought or anything. It's just drier than normal. I'm thinking that maybe because we had a good amount of rain last year, there's a lot of growth. And now that we're in a drought again, things have dried out, and that's allowing a lot of things to burn. But again, yeah, Massachusetts plus Rhode Island, that is how much acreage has burned in Canada from these fires. So it's no wonder we're seeing so much smoke being pulled down into the United States here from all of these fires. And again, it's just been pretty favorable. Whenever it's not raining in Maine, it's been smoky or hazy. It's like we can't catch a break one way or the other. Even when we do get a nice day, it tends to be pretty hazy over the past couple weeks. Now here's a look at the rainfall forecast through the rest of this week. I put a bunch of fire icons on there to show you where a lot of these fires are burning. The ones in Western Canada, in Alberta and British Columbia, they probably do get some relief. Most indications are that a decent amount of rain is on the way, so maybe that will help to cut back on some of the smoke. But notice over towards Winnipeg and Manitoba and over into Ontario, yeah, not as much rain there. In fact, probably not much at all. So those fires will continue to burn, and just because it rains on a fire doesn't mean it instantly goes out, especially when they're, you know, the size of Massachusetts and area burning. It just takes a long time to put that much fire and to, you know, quell all of those burning areas. So I wouldn't expect this to, you know, immediately fix everything. We'll probably see some more smoke being produced in the next couple weeks. And that includes tonight into tomorrow, of course. As soon as the weather turns nice, guess what comes back? The smoke that arrives tonight as our skies clear out. We see some smoke returning to our skies. Luckily, it does not look super thick tomorrow. It's questionable if we'll see an air quality alert. It would not be completely shocking to me, but because of the lower levels of smoke in the sky during the day on Wednesday, we may avoid an air quality alert, but you'll probably notice that the sunrise is again pretty red, might be a bit of milkiness in the skies, and then more thicker smoke comes back in as we head into Wednesday night and into Thursday as well. So yeah, more wildfire smoke, you guys. Can't catch a break with that either. It's like, we get the rain on the weekend and then wildfire smoke when it's sunny during the week. So.
I know. I noticed that on Sunday.
Yes.
Definitely. I was downtown, enjoying the waterfront and all the events happening, and still had a great time. But I mean, you just couldn't help but notice that haze out there.
It was very noticeable.
Yeah, the white sky, basically.
Exactly.
It's also like too bad too. The two nice days of the week, you have the wildfire smoke, and if it really bothers you, you can't enjoy it because you have to stay inside. It just this a never-ending cycle. I hope that this does not get added into our cycle.
I know, right? I hope that we can, put these fires out and through the rest of the summer, we won't be seeing as much smoke. But yeah, kind of interesting how frequent this has become the past few years. It's not the first time we've seen this. Last summer it happened a few times.
Right.
And in 2023 it happened quite a bit as well. So yeah, hopefully we can get out of the smoke pattern at some point soon.
I mean, 7.5 million acres at this stage in the summer is pretty jaw-dropping.
Is really jaw-dropping. And it was interesting, earlier in the week it was around 5 million acres. So in just a few days it really ramped up by 2 more million acres. So really crazy to see. But if you've got any weather-related questions or questions about the Canadian wildfires you'd like to ask our Weather Authority team, you can always email us at weather@wgme.com.